Hi, I'm Scott Cohn from KAZU. One of our New Year's resolutions for 2026 is to make new friends. We're going to take the first step in that by helping you get to know us and the voices that you hear all the time. So I am joined by the faces that go with those voices. We have MaryJane Peters, who is an All Things Considered host and the station operations manager, Paul Fingerote and Lisa Ledin. You hear both on All Things Considered, and Lisa also on Morning Edition on Fridays, Weekend Edition on Saturday, and of course, Dylan Music, our Morning Edition host. Let's talk about, I've already told what our New Year's resolution is for 2026, but how about everybody's individual resolution? And if you didn't make any, that's fine. So Dylan, what's your New Year's resolution?
I think just in general, just to be a better version of myself. I don't have like a very concrete, like hit the gym or, like go to the beach every day or something like that. But just try to be a better version of myself and whatever that means. And I guess I'm still trying to figure that out.
Now we're past the traditional time when people break their New Year's resolutions. Yeah. That's a tough one to break.
Yeah, see? So there. So I won't break it, hopefully.
So, Lisa?
I always make promises. I agree. I want to be a better version of me, but I also want to create rich memories because I want to experience all kinds of things. I love nature, and I just want to be healthy and eat right and love animals and create more friends and tell stories. Keep doing radio.
And you've kept to it so far.
So far.
Paul?
I do not have a New Year's resolution. I have a day-to-day resolution to enjoy life to the max, to be very kind to my fellow human beings, and to take my dog for a walk every day.
And you've kept to that
Absolutely.
as well. Good job.
Absolutely.
Good job. MaryJane?
Well, these are all great too. All great, and everyone should probably strive for each one of those things. We were talking earlier about being more present, and I think that that is the ideal way to be and way to think about life. It's the only thing we really have control over, and it's going to make my mind more peaceful if I can just appreciate the little things and enjoy every little moment, inside and outside of work. So
while we're on you, let's talk about Sunday Sound Adventures, because we hear about it. There are different programs every week, and basically you have a little bit of everything to choose from in the public radio universe. How do you pick what we're going to hear every week, and what do you have coming up that you're excited about?
I'm excited about Black History Month. I try to make it current. Think about things that are happening, holidays, musicians' birthdays. We just aired a David Bowie special for his birthday. It would have been 10 years that he passed now. I really love music, and I really love science. I love history. So I just kind of think about what our listener might like, and think about what's current, and think about what I think is good listening. So I try to find the best out there. So that's kind of my goal.
And it speaks to just all the things that are out there in this whole public radio ecosystem, right? I mean, all these things that you have to choose from. That's really interesting.
It is the highlight of my job. Honestly, it's the news can bring you down, but it's a big world, and we choose what we focus on. So I think it's nice to give our listeners a little opportunity to kind of take a break from the hard news and think about the big wide universe, and think about the stars, and think about nature, and just appreciate, like I was saying before, about goals and things like that, just appreciating the good things that we have in the world, and also teach people about things. I got great feedback from a Howlin' Wolf special I had recently for his birthday, and I had a listener write in and say, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much for making this special available to us. I never even heard of him, and now I picked up a bunch of CDs." And now he's a big fan of Howlin' Wolf.
Sunday afternoon
at 4.
At 4.
Yeah.
Dylan, you've started the Green Room series. We had some really good ones in the past year. Tell us about what the Green Room series is, and maybe some of the things that you were proudest of in the last year, and what you have in the works.
I would say it's kind of like a arts and culture interview series of people that are coming to the area or local artists who are doing something. So a little bit of that. And just showcasing the arts and culture we have here in the Monterey Bay area. You know, local playwrights and musicians and authors. Lisa Ledin also got in on that. She did one with an author in the last series, BBC reporter, yeah, about her mom finding love in an older place in her life. And yeah, so I don't know, highlights. I mean, definitely a highlight for me is interviewing William Shatner. I mean, just because he's William Shatner and he's such a character and he's such a great interview because like he just turns it on, and he ended up kind of like leading the interview and directing me and kind of telling me what to do.
What was he like?
He's just funny and lighthearted and doesn't seem to take himself too seriously and likes to have fun, it seems like. And yeah, so I would say that, yeah, he was surprising to me because he's such a huge name, and at 94 just seems young. I mean, it seems just really sharp and present and there. And he was just a really fun interview.
Doesn't seem like he's 94. That's so surprising.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of musicians, and not just because your name is music, but you're a music buff, aren't you?
Well, you know, oddly enough, I think we've only had for the last, I'd say, season of the Green Room, we did have James Durbin, a local American Idol contestant, who's like a local presence. So I'd like to get more music interviews coming up.
Okay.
So, but there's some things in the works for the Green Room. Lisa, anything you got?
I do. I just want to say that this area has attracted actors, artists, painters, photographers. It is a dynamite place to make art and to make community. So whatever I can impart in these stories, I have a background in classical music, actually. I just want to keep going and bringing that uplifting music and that creation of art, share it with the listeners. And I love the way that it ricochets, because it not only is enjoyed by the listener, but the individuals that get involved. I mean, it just, the little waves that happen, ripples. It's a wonderful feeling to do a story and feel good about it and get rapport like you.
And it's nice to let them kind of spread their wings a little bit, and you learn more about the person behind the artist. Are most of them receptive to public radio, especially at this time in public radio, but also that sort of outlet? What do they say? What do they think about being on a place like KAZU?
I think they think public radio is a necessity. And now I'm not fundraising right now, but it has such an important place. I just get positive vibes. Yeah. So all the way around. I love working for public radio, and if I wasn't working here, I'd be listening.
Yeah. Paul, one of the things that people probably don't know about you is you're very involved with the Monterey Jazz Festival, which is another one of these sort of cultural treasures around here. Tell us about that, how that's going right now, because they've had some interesting times.
I have to say it's a mystery to me as to how it's going, because there were a lot of changes over the last year. New artistic director, no longer there, changing the name of the festival to Monterey Jazz. I have no idea what's happening behind the doors of the Monterey Jazz Festival right now. But I did have 35 years of working with them as a marketing director, and it is one of the jewels, I think, of the great variety that Lisa referenced of artists, and certainly is probably, I would go as far as saying, this has got to be one of the most respected festivals. And, it's Monterey. It's really, it's that juxtaposition of little old Monterey, California, and the worldwide renowned Monterey Jazz Festival, Monterey Bay Aquarium, all the rest. But
Carmel Bach Festival.
Carmel Bach Festival. But it was, for me, a wonderful ride. Starting with Jimmy Lyons, who hired me, and then with Tim Jackson over the years, And as Tim and I talked about just a couple of years ago at the festival, we did a lot of good work. So it was nice to have that.
Yeah. I love your radio origin story because everyone can hear those pipes. That is a guy with a radio voice, but you were in marketing. And tell us how you came to KAZU and how this
Came to KAZU. Well, first of all, let me go back to how I first found KAZU. I used to drive around in my Honda listening to Giants games, and then my AM radio cut out. So I switched to FM, and what was on but Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, and I was hooked instantly from there on. And then my association with KAZU started 11 years ago. After I'd left the Monterey Jazz Festival, I had time on my hands, so I came to the station, or actually before I came, I called up and volunteered to answer phones. And I made it clear when I started answering the phones that I was there with ulterior motives and that I had been told I have a voice for radio. So it's been the highlight of my life. It is a life's dream to be working on the air, and it took me a while to get here, but that's, I think, a lesson to be learned, that if we're patient, these things do come to pass.
So I, as an old dad, have a special place in my heart for dad jokes. And you clearly do as well. Tell me where those all come from.
I am a dad joke.
Well, me too. But,
The ultimate dad joke.
yeah,
teller.
but right? I mean, there's talk a little about that.
Any kind of jokes.
Yeah.
I do have a feeling that with, I think what MaryJane was talking about, and we don't want to touch upon it that much, but with all the news being kind of, questionable, downer kind of material, I like to not look for, but allow the lighter side of the news to come to me and share that with our listeners, because I do think with everything that's going on in the world that we're not going to talk about right now, I think we need to lighten things up occasionally, and I do not think about these things. These things come to me as I'm sitting there.
His Red's donut story with Burl Ives.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fabulous.
Thank
Talk
you.
about lightening up.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I will say my origin story with KAZU is a little bit similar because I was doing pledge drives, but I started a gazillion years ago in public radio and have always had a place in my heart for public radio as I spent a number of years in television. And always listened to the public radio station wherever I go, wherever my travels would take me. And I moved to this area in 2014 and immediately sought out the public radio station. Then I sought out the pledge drives and then kind of worked my way in a similar way.
Yeah.
So it really is sort of a nice touchstone wherever you go. So on that note, let's talk more about origin stories. MJ, what brought you here?
Oh my goodness. Well, I came direct from Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona. And I was applying to radio jobs because I wanted to get back into radio. I had been a news reporter in Flagstaff before I was at the observatory. And I just kept applying, and I had traveled out here and had gone down to Big Sur and fell in love. And I saw this job opportunity for a production assistant for $10 an hour. And it's over 14 years ago now. I accepted the position, drove my Toyota Land Cruiser over 3 days across the desert with all my stuff in it. And here I am, almost 15 years it'll be in September I've been here.
And you've kept from the observatory, you've kept the enthusiasm about space and the stars and all of that, right? That's a thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, looking out into space brings me back down to Earth in a weird way. It just puts you in the right perspective. We're spinning on a ball of rocks in outer space right now. And when you think about it, it kind of makes you think about things a little bit differently. Life gets crazy, and you just have to kind of keep a open mind, keep a bigger picture in mind, and I don't know. I like to share that with the listeners too. I think a lot of the listeners like it, and we talk about the star parties that happen here in Monterey. The Monterey Institute for Research in Astronomy puts on these star parties, and I recently went to one, and it was amazing. There were over 20 telescopes set up. We looked at Uranus, Neptune, the Pleiades, M57. It was remarkable, and it was fun. It was out at Laguna Seca, super dark out there, and just a great vibe, a great crowd of people. And I was excited for how many people actually showed up, and the folks there tell me, oh yeah, people say they hear about it on the radio. So
we're in such a good area for that, for stargazing and like, I mean, there's dark skies and just the setting, right? I mean, it's just amazing. Lisa, you're, of all the people that I know in radio, you have such a passion for this medium, and which comes from your experience in it. But tell us a little bit about your background.
I grew up with KQED. I'm from Mill Valley, California, and out of UC Berkeley, I got a degree in journalism, and then I started in radio in Aspen, Cincinnati, and then I came back here to take care of my mom and started working at KBOX. So I stayed in the classical. And then David Whitrock, I had worked with him there. He was here. I moved on over here and been here ever since. But the passion is there. It's just perfect for me because it's communication, it's teamwork, it's immediacy, it's the arts, it's information. It's endless. It's relentless how interesting and fun radio can be.
And it's such a personal medium, isn't it? I mean,
it really is. And here we are on camera, but that's been the trick all along, is that wonderful mystique of radio. You don't really know me. You can't see me. You hear me through my voice.
Do you any of you get recognized, even like with your name?
Yes.
So they don't know they know your voice, they know your name, they don't know your face, but you still
Trader Joe's, the gym, in the dressing room, people say, I know that voice.
Dylan,
for me, it's more of a name. I think because my name is so odd, unique, whatever, that people recognize my name and they'll say, oh, I know you from, usually more than my voice. When people hear my voice out in public, they'll be like, oh, that's you? Sometimes that doesn't sound like you. So like, I don't think my voice translates as well maybe as like Lisa or Paul's does out in the world. But when people see my name, they make the connection right away. Yeah.
And how did you come to KAZU?
I fell into radio in general. I was getting my lit degree at UCSC and started volunteering at the radio station over there, KZSC. Music, which was my passion as far as like radio goes, and was volunteering there, auditioned with like a CD of like me reading the news for another local NPR station in Santa Cruz, and then when they folded, and David Whitrock, who we've all been talking about, he had my job before me, was retiring. And the job came up, and that's how I got the job. So, yeah.
So you do mornings, and mornings are such a critical time period in radio. People wake up with you. People drive to work with you. What is your mindset? What are you trying to impart to people? How do you want them to start their day?
I don't know. It's just a lot of it is like a connection, like that I'm there with them on their daily morning journey or whatever, and that we're kind of all in this together, and there's stuff going on out there. It affects me, it affects them, and kind of trying to make those connections. I think more than anything else, it's just that I'm with them, the listener, on their daily journey. And I'm part of that as well, and I'm experiencing that stuff too, and I'm part of the community. And, so I guess just being like a companion, a buddy, person to go with them on their daily journey, which I have to be honest with, I really miss. I feel like since I haven't been doing that, and I know we're not going to get in the weeds about this, but we are going to get back in live, and that's great, that I've been feeling kind of like adrift at sea without my local morning connection with everybody else out there, and feeling like I'm just kind of floating in the sea without any direction. So I miss being there with everybody in the mornings.
We miss you.
And you. Yeah.
When in normal times, when does your alarm go off in the morning?
Depends. 3:30, 4, 4:20, something like that.
Do you like that, or does it get old?
I am accustomed to that. That's like my, my body's accustomed. I'm used to waking up early like that. I like it. I'm an early morning person. Well, it's funny because when I first started, when David Whitrock, my predecessor, was training me, I asked him, I said, "Are you a morning person?" He just goes, "No." So I was like, "Oh, okay." But I am a morning person, so it's perfect for me. I like getting up before everybody else and hopefully being done before everybody else.
So since the elephant in the room, we haven't been on the air live for a little while. What have you been doing with yourself?
Oh, well, I have a whole nother job here. I'm assistant operations, so I'm anything you hear, because you're hearing stuff on the radio still, but it's all pre-recorded. A lot of that stuff I'm doing every day, tagging promotionals or underwriting scripts or weather updates and story promos and stuff like that. So I'm recording those and getting them into our system, our automated system. So, and then working on I don't want to get too in the weeds, but building our automated playlists and stuff, and maintaining our classical station, which is kind of hit or miss right now. Sorry about that, but that was like my big baby that I've always been in charge of, is the classical station and collaborating with local symphonies to get their performances on the air on the weekends, which is a big thing that we do too.
Yeah.
So,
Lisa, I'll ask you in a minute what you've been doing with yourself, but I want to, going back to the question that I asked Dylan about the mindset in the morning. You're the only person who really does mornings and afternoons. Do you approach them differently?
I am a morning person. When I'm not on the air, I'm swimming a mile at 5:30 in the morning. So I'm not really an afternoon person. I don't concentrate as well in the afternoons. Morning, yeah. I love the morning.
Yeah.
so you just feel like you're kind of with them going through the motions?
Yeah, but I'm fresh and into it first thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. And what have you been doing?
Well, I have another side to me, and that is I'm a massage therapist, so I'm leaning on that. And I do face painting for children's parties and fairs and that sort of thing. I love to paint. I love to garden and cook, and I really am getting out there to the ocean as much as possible with my animals. I collect forgotten animals, and I have 5 cats and a dog. But, just staying organized with all my interests is beyond anything I can ever reach. So I'm busy.
Yeah. So Lisa's a cat person. Paul, you're a dog person, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Tell us about your dog.
My dog, Tadich, Tadich, named after the oldest restaurant in California, I believe.
Tadich Grill, San
Tadich
Francisco.
Grill.
Love that place.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have more time with Tadich these days. What else are you doing with your time?
I was fortunate to have had a project to work on during much of the time we've been off the air. And it was very, very helpful for me to get my creative juices going, because that's what really this is all about to me. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning as well. We should all have coffee, I think. And I start working, if I'm working on air, I'll start working on my script at that time. So I'll try to put that together in the first few hours of the day. So I missed that. And like Dylan was saying, it was like being adrift. I can feel everything that I'm hearing about. We've all kind of gone through an experience where we learn how much this means to us on this side, on the other side, and we're all eager and looking forward to getting back to that.
Yeah. MaryJane, what have you been up to?
Oh my goodness, this project is kind of a never-ending project, moving this radio station. So trying to help the engineering team as much as I possibly can, and just trying to keep the station up and running. So looking forward to a refreshed studio, a new equipment, and going back to what our listeners, I think, are used to, which is we aim for perfection around here, which is obviously not possible, but we aim for it. Admit it, I'm a perfectionist. It's terrible. there's so much out of our control, which is why I come back to, what we have control over, and just appreciating the small little moments that we have, like right now, like this is nice, and just where we live, and just taking advantage of every beautiful thing that life has to offer here in Monterey Bay.
Yeah.
I just want to pause for a moment to say thank you, because these guys have just been beaten and battered about, and keep smiling and doing their job. So thank you for your work.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
We do have, without spilling the beans on anything, we do have a lot of exciting things in store once we get through this. And so that's something to really look forward to. And you guys, I mean, we all work our different shifts and our different hours and our different programs, but we don't get to do this a whole lot, do we?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's nice to get together.
All right. So I told everybody before this that I was going to ask you to tell everybody something about yourself that might surprise people. So I'm just going to I'll go my left to right. MJ?
I race sailboats for fun, so looking forward to sailing season getting underway. Aside from that, I'm a stargazer too. I have a big telescope, and I like to get out and do that. I like to ride my bike a lot. I mean, I guess that's not really strange, but you'll see me riding my bike really fast, usually singing at the top of my lungs, riding around on the bike trail.
And we are Cub fans.
And that's true. And baseball is getting ready,
Yeah.
and I'm also a Bear fan.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
love
a very
Bears. Oh my
exciting.
gosh.
We are freaking out in Chicago, and I think it's because of the Pope is there. It might
Yeah, well,
hopefully
we-
it's going to be this year. It'll be exciting, and
have-
yeah, I'm a Cub fan
We
too.
have
So.
a thing. Paul?
I am the Latka King of Monterey.
Yes.
Self-proclaimed, so don't come at me with your spatulas and burning oil, but that's my secret life. And I think some
It's true.
folks could
It's true.
attest
And I
to
can
that.
attest.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
they are.
Thank
they are-
you.
they
The
are
best.
That's it.
good. They're good. We already got massage therapist, cat lady. Cat lady.
I love to dance. But I think really my little private important thing is that I adopted a child later in life, and she's now 22. And, I'm primarily a mother beyond anything else. And it's been really rewarding. Just such an adventure.
Her daughter's great.
Yeah.
She's a doula, isn't
She's
she?
a doula and a dancer.
And a dancer.
And I'm just so happy with the way it's all worked out.
Dylan?
I don't know if this would be surprising, but I mean, I think of myself as like kind of an amateur musician. I play a little guitar and sing and stuff here and there, but I don't know that people would be surprised by that since my last name is Music, but it's the only thing I can think of right now.
Your first name is Dylan. Is that in your music at all, or was my?
Well, my parents are huge Bob Dylan fans,
Yeah.
and my dad's last name had to be Music, and that's how my name came to be. So now that's the official story. Everybody knows.
Yeah. What and when you're playing music, any particular genre, any instruments? What do you?
Well, guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a piano it's like a keyboard that I play sometimes, but nothing particular. I don't know if there's a genre I could say perhaps, or just kind of folksy maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I just dabble. Yeah, dabble.
All right. Well, now you know more about us. Let us know more about you. We have exciting things in store at KAZU in 2026, and we're going to keep to that resolution of making more friends. Thanks for watching.